Hello, thank you for tuning in to this video. Today we are going to look at the concept of successive increase and decrease of percentages and its applications. So beginning with successive increase, it basically means increase on increase. So let's see a question. If a number 100 needs to be increased successively by 10%, 20% and 30%, how can we go ahead with the calculation? So basically there are two methods. Starting with the first method, which I call it as stepwise calculation. In this step 1, I will first increase 100 by 10%, which gives me the answer as 110. In the next step, I am going to further increase 110 by 20%, which gives me my result as 132. And in step 3, similarly, I will increase 132 by 30%, which gives me my answer as 171.6. Looking to the second method of calculation, which I call it as a multiplier method. Now this method will use the conversion of percentages into fractions. In case you have not seen my first video of percentages and ratios with quick calculation tricks, please go through that video so that you understand these multipliers very easily. So 100 into, now when I have to increase by 10%, my multiplier becomes 11 by 10. When I have to increase a number by 20%, which is 1/5 of a number, my multiplier becomes 6 by 5. It comes from 1 plus 1 by 5. And if I want to increase a number by 30%, so 30% is nothing but 3 by 10 of a number. So increasing any number by 3 by 10 gives you 13 by 10. So when I multiply all these multipliers to 100 in one step itself, do my cancellations, I still get my answer as 171.6. So depending on the kind of multipliers given and on the kind of numbers given, you can decide which method to adopt in your question. What we conclude after seeing these two methods is, first, successive increase by 10%, 20% and 30% is not equal to increase by 60% directly. In short, percentages cannot be combined together for the calculation. Second conclusion what we draw is, successive increase by 10%, 20% and 30% is equal to increase by 30%, 20% and 10%. So what I basically mean here is, order of percentages is not important. In any order you increase, your result, your end result will always be same. Moving ahead with successive decrease. So this concept is very similar to increase. So you can just take it as a revision of increase. So again, it means decrease on decrease. So when a number now needs to decrease by 10%, 20% and 30% successively, how would we go ahead here? So again, we look into two methods. First is stepwise calculation. We first decrease 100 by 10%, which gives us 90. We further decrease 90 by 20%, which gives us 72. And further decreasing 72 by 30% gives us 50.4. Looking to the second method of multipliers. So 10%, when I decrease a number by 10%, the multiplier becomes 9 by 10, which comes from 1 minus 1 by 10. Similarly, when I decrease a number by 20%, which is 1/5 of a number, the multiplier becomes 1 minus 1 by 5, which is 4 by 5. Similarly, for 30%, which is 3/10 of a number, the multiplier becomes 7 by 10. So when I multiply all these multipliers to 100, I get my result as 50.4. Same conclusions we can draw over here as well. Even in case of decrease, I cannot combine all my percentages together for the calculation. Second conclusion, again in case of decrease, my order of percentages is irrelevant. Your end result will always be same. Moving ahead to one quick formula that we can adopt, but it is valid only if we have just two successive percentages. So in our previous questions, we had three successive percentages in a question. So there, this formula will not be applicable. But if we have only two percentages, I can use this quick formula, which is A plus B plus AB upon 100, where A and B are the two percentages we need to consider. Let's see this with an example. So if a number 100 increases by 10% and decreases by 20% successively. So here I am taking a combination of increase and decrease. With the data given, I can say that A is plus 10 and value of B would be minus 20. So when I put these values in the formula given above, I get my result as 10 minus 20 minus 200 upon 100. So resulting into minus 12. So what I can conclude is overall change is 12% decrease. So my final answer would be 100 and 12% decrease on 100, which gives you your answer as 88. How can I verify this method? So I can verify this method with the same concept that we have just learned in the previous slide, where I use the multiplier method over here. So 100 into 11 by 10 because of 10% increase, into 4 by 5 because of 20% decrease. When I solve this, I will further get my answer as 88. Let's look into applications of this concept. So let's see this question here. The prices at Subway, they rose by 15% in the period 2005 to 8 and by 20% in the period 2008 to 11. If the price of a veggie patty sub is 138 in 2011, what was its price in 2005? So if you would have observed over here, they are increasing a price from 2005 to 2008, then 2008 to 2011, and they have given here the resultant price in 2011. So in this question, you need to work backwards to find the initial price. So let's see over here. So price in 2005, if I consider as X, so what my equation would be is X into 115 upon 100 because of 15% increase, into 6 by 5 because of 20% increase again, results into 138. So similarly with cross multiplication and cancellation, we get our value of X as 100. Let's look into one more question of application. A person buys certain number of oranges out of which 20% were rotten. She consumes 25% of the remaining. Now this word of the remaining is very important. And then gives 16.66% of oranges left to the children. She is now left with 20 oranges. So how many did she buy originally? Now let's see how we can do this. Here it also has a good application of fractions and percentages. So let's say the original number of oranges was X. Now out of X, 20% were rotten. So I can say 1/5 were rotten, which means I will be left with 4/5. Now out of these, she consumed 25%, which means she consumed 1/4. So left was 3/4. So that becomes my next multiplier. Then she gives 16.66, which is 1/6 to the children, which means she is left with 5/6 of the remaining. So going ahead with this, multiplying all these multipliers to X, I get my final result as 20. Solving this further, I will get my value as X, as 40. So this is how I can use my concept of successive increase and decrease in such questions. So this is all for today. In case you're looking out to learn more on this topic, this is where you can reach out to me on. If you have liked this video, if you found the content helpful, please do not forget to share it ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, to keep getting updates. Thank you so much.